So it is a female reproductive system. You identify the parts. Okay, this is a uterus, this is the body of uterus, this is the upper part, fundus. Okay, this is the cervix of the uterus, this is the vagina. Understood? No problem. And these are the fallopian tubes. So what is happening? In the mid of the cycle, in the mid of menstrual cycle, there is a release of secondary oocyte, isn't it? There is a release of secondary oocyte. Now, these fimbriae, okay, they show the movement, they collect the secondary oocyte and they, you can say, drag this in the fallopian tube. Now, we are studying the stages, don't forget. Make the heading, stages of fertilization. Now, we are discussing the specific time period that is called as the ovulation time, because only in this time period there is a higher chance of fertilization. There is a higher chance of fertilization. Understood? So one general concept you should keep in your mind is that if a sperm come, okay, during the ovulation time, okay, fertilization happening, if a sperm comes during the ovulation time, then there is a higher chances of fertilization, and that's why this period is also referred as a fertile period for the woman. Fertile period of women, and this takes place, okay, this, you know that one thing you should understood is that I'm starting the, you can say, the stages of the fertilization. The first stage is sperm arrival, okay, or you can say sperm transport. Where? In the female reproductive system. Fine. For, you can say, fertilizing the egg, sperms have to, you can say, suffer. Sperm have to suffer. They have to face the challenges and obstacles. They have to face the challenges and the obstacles, which is overcome by the egg, because internally the destination of egg is also a sperm, and the destination of a sperm is also an egg. Okay, so both want to meet, and they, for this meeting, you can say, is facilitated. This meeting is facilitated by very, you can say, the one specific moment or one specific period that we refer as a ovulations. It means, and you know that a sperm, it is like, it's very, you know, like you seen the lovers, okay, the boyfriend who is waiting for her girlfriend, okay, and if she came 1 minute late, it is like a 1 hour late. Are you following, understanding? Then sperm have, you can say, no patience, okay, it's want to go fast and to meet with her girlfriend, okay, to meet with his girlfriend. Now, the thing is, and for that, sperm is ready to face any challenges, any obstacles. The first thing you should always remember that for fertilizing the egg, sperm have to face the challenges and obstacles. Now, what are the challenges and obstacles which is faced by the sperm in order to fertilize the egg? And as I said, these challenges and obstacles is very much overcome by the egg, because egg also want, but you know, they are not 100%. They are not. Egg are also, you can say, they are not capable to, you can say, overcome all the challenges and obstacles for the sperm. Somehow you can say the 70 or 60% is my estimation. I'm not going by the book. 60% obstruction and challenges is overcome by this secondary oocyte, which you can badly want to meet with her boyfriend, that's the sperm. Are you following? But you know, this meeting is only happening in egg's home. Okay, this meeting is only happening in the egg homes. Here egg home is I'm referring as a female reproductive environment. Okay, they are not supposed to meet outside. If they meet outside, then there is no natural meeting. There is a meeting, that you know, the IVF technique. Okay, IVF technique. There can be meeting outside also, but that's not a natural. Okay, it's called the artificial. That's not a natural. This is assistive. Okay, this is a assistive. Now, okay, that's a very useful. Okay, this IVF is very useful. Okay, for those couples who are infertile. Okay, who are infertile, this process is like a blessing. It's a blessing for those couples. Now, my concern here is, the sperm is facing the challenge in obstacle, and what are the challenges in obstacle, which is 60% overcome by the secondary oocyte, and how they are overcoming it. Now, the first challenge is this environment only. You know that during the phase of menstrual cycle, there's changes in the mucus consistency. There's changes in the mucus consistency of the cervix. Okay, in most of the cycle, the mucus is thick. Okay, in the most of the cycle, the mucus is thick. Are you following, understanding? Yeah, in the most of the cycle, the mucus is thick, but only during the fertile period or during the ovulation, the quality of mucus become thin, the consistency become thin, and you can see the form. It's become the thin and form. And you know, I told you, the obstacle, his girlfriend is ready to, you can say, reduce the challenges and obstacles for the sperm, and for that, this layer of the egg, okay, the egg, you can say layer, or previously you can just correlate with the previous lecture. There is corpus luteum, isn't it? From where there is a rupturance of Graafian follicle, and there is a release of, there's a Graafian follicle, and on the 14th day, due to the LH surge, there is a release of secondary oocyte from the mature follicle or Graafian follicle. Okay, the oocyte is released, and they come into the fallopian tube by the fimbrial movement, but the portion is left is referred as a corpus luteum, and you know that corpus luteum secrete one of the hormone that is called as the progesterone. So progesterone work on this mucus, and they made this, or we can say they alter the quality of consistency of this mucus and make them thin, so that sperm can travel. So the first challenge is the cervical mucus or cervix mucus, isn't it? Fine, no problem. Now, the second problem which is faced by the sperm is cervical canal. This is a very narrow canal. Okay, cervical canal. This is a narrow canal. Okay, most of the sperm, they are, you can say, not able to go, okay, deeper in the travel in the reproductive system, okay, reproductive environment. Fine, understood. So, and you know that in one ejaculation, how much sperm is produced? 200 to 300 million. Okay, it's the one estimation. 200 to 300 million sperm is produced in one ejaculation. So the sperm have also fight with the, you can say, sperm also feel obstacles when they are traveling through this cervical narrow space. Fine, understood, no problem. But here also, okay, here also his partner is ready to reduce the obstacles. Okay, his partner is ready to reduce the obstacles and challenges. In how way? You know that there is a called sexual orgasm. Yeah, sexual orgasm. Fine. Pronunciation is my bit maybe. So it's a sexual orgasm. Okay, and this sexual orgasm is, you can say, felt by a female during the sexual intercourse. Fine, during the coitus or sexual intercourse. This sexual orgasm is controlled by the higher system. Okay, and that is called as the hypothalamus. Fine. So hypothalamus, okay, they induce a certain kind of feeling that's called the sexual orgasm. Understood? And this sexual orgasm result, okay, this is responsible for release of one hormone that is called as the prolactin. Fine. This prolactin in turn work on this narrow passage, or we are referring as a cervical canal. Okay, and start initiating momentally. Okay, start initiating momentally. Okay, one kind of, you can say, pumping. Okay, one kind of pumping, and that is called as the pumping up motion. Fine. That is referred as the pumping up motion. Okay, pumping up motion, so that sperm is pushed. Okay, sperm is pushed from the cervical canal to the another part. Are you understanding? Following? No problem. So what we just recall once again what we studied. We are studying the stages of the fertilization, and we said that there is a very much urge for both the egg and the sperm to meet with each other. Okay, and for that both have to do something. Both have to do something. Without you can say moving their hand and leg, they are not able to meet. Are you following? So for that sperm have to first go. That's the sperm arrival, the first stage, sperm transport. Sperm first have to enter in the female reproductive system. Then only her partner, that's egg. Okay, his partner egg is able to, you can say, manage their home. And as I said, this process is only happening, not only happening in the but for natural meeting. If they want natural dating, natural meeting, then it's only happening in their own environment. Okay, and but there are other helpful techniques, that's called the IVF. Okay, which is very much useful to the infertile couples. Understanding? That is the artificial, or you can say artificial fertilization, which is happening outside their natural environment. Understanding? No problem. Now the thing is, sperm is transported, but for fertilizing the egg, sperm have to deal with so many challenges and the obstacles. Okay, it have to deal with the so many challenges and the obstacles. One of the challenge, the first challenge which is faced by the, you can say, the sperm is the quality of mucus, the consistency of the mucus. But you know, as I said, there is a higher chance, or you can say the only fertilization can happen during their fertile period of a woman. Okay, that's a, you can say, the mid period of their menstrual cycle, that's ovulation. Are you understanding? Okay, ovulation. Now on this ovulation time, and as I said that this girlfriend, okay, sperm's girlfriend, that's the secondary oocyte, they reduce the 60% of the obstacles and challenges. Rest 40% is dependent upon sperm itself. Okay, so for that, okay, for 60% contribution, the one contribution of reducing the obstacles and challenges is secretion of one kind of hormone which can change the consistency or quality of this mucus, make them thinner. Okay, because you can say in the most of the cycle, most of the time period of the menstrual cycle, the mucus quality is thicker. Only during the ovulation period, under the effect of progesterone, which is secreted by the corpus luteum, there is a changes in the quality or thickness, you can say, of the mucus, and it's become the thinner. Okay, and it's easy for the sperm to go. The one step, finish, done. Next step, the challenges which is faced by the sperm in order to fertilize the egg is the narrowness of the cervical canal. So for that also egg is ready, the female is ready. Okay, because during this, you can say the intercourse or coitus, there is a sexual orgasm. Okay, and this sexual orgasm is mainly mediated by the hypothalamus. Understood? Hypothalamus release one hormone that's called the anterior pituitary that send. Okay, hypothalamus send the message to the anterior pituitary to secrete the prolactin. Now the prolactin, it comes in this narrow cervical canal, and they induce one kind of, you can say, the movement. Okay, one kind of movement or one kind of pumping. Okay, momently, and that is called as the pumping of motion. By this, the sperm feel, you can say, easy to go in deeper to the female reproductive system. And the one thing you should remember is that fertilization mainly happening in the isthmus region, site of fertilization. If we talked about the site of fertilization, then it is a isthmus. Understanding? It's a isthmus. Now, fine. Now, what are the other challenges? Okay, what are the other challenges apart from the cervical, this narrowness and all the challenges? The another challenge which is faced by the sperm, okay, or you can say which is you can say faced by the sperm, but this is helpful for the sperm. This is helpful to the sperm. Here there is a, you can say, the acidic environment of the vagina. Acidic environment of the vagina, and as you know, the sperms have mainly only the sperm is not released during the you can say the ejaculation. There is a release of you can say the semen. Okay, and semen have 10% of the sperm, fine, and rest 90% is seminal plasma. Okay, which is you can say constituted by the accessory male organs, prostate gland, you can say bulbourethral gland. Are you understanding? Yeah. So the content of the seminal plasma is alkaline. It's a basic. Understood? So this alkaline nature of the sperm. Okay. Shall I draw it? Yeah. These are the sperms, and this is the whole semen. Okay, one sperm, they're gone. Okay, oh, not one sperm, you can say from this much. Okay, how I can say exact data, but like there are plenty of sperm is still, you can say, able to go. Okay, and there's a contraction for, again, you can say, strengthening the movement of the sperm. There's a uterine contraction. There's a uterine contraction. This uterine contraction is done by the posterior pituitary, okay, which release one of the hormone, and that is called as the oxytocin, a birth hormone. Fine. So under the help of oxytocin, okay, and some of the this induction of uterine contraction is not only done by the oxytocin, it's also done by the some of the prostaglandins, okay, which is you can say present in the seminal plasma of the semen. Are you understanding? The prostaglandins, PG2 molecules. Okay, so this PG2 and oxytocin, which is you can say native oxytocin of the female, they both induce the uterine contraction, and sperm is ready to go ahead. Okay, then, okay, why you are going here? Sperm go here. No, here is the waiting. Secondary oocyte is waiting here. Now, the sperm, okay, they go to the near to the, you can say, the egg. Okay, near to the egg. Now, how the question arises is that how knows that his girlfriend is waiting here only? How sperm knows? This his girlfriend have one kind of special, you can say, perfume. They are using one kind of special perfume which attract the sperm, that is referred as a chemotaxis. Okay, and those sperm, those, you can say, the perfume is referred as a chemo attractant. Yeah, write it down. It's referred as a chemo attractant, and the process by which the secondary oocyte, okay, they attract his boyfriend is referred as a chemotaxis. Okay, it's easy to understand, no problem. Understood? Fine. Now, then sperm is oriented. Fine. Sperm is oriented. They knows where his girlfriend is situated. Where his girlfriend is waiting. Okay. Then sperm is going. Is come to the nearby to the, you can say, the secondary oocyte. Fine. Now, then there will be the second step. The first step is sperm transport. Sperm successfully succeed to go to the near environment. Second step is to the fuse. Okay, and that is referred as the acrosome reaction. Now, what is happening in acrosome reaction? As I said that sperm has head, okay, and egg release certain substances, okay, which you can say capacitate, which remove the covering, the axonal cap, which is present over the head of the sperm. Okay, and this process is called as capacitation. Now, after the removing, you know that sperm is also like us. Sperm is also like male. They're wearing a nice suit, okay, and their etiquette, you can say, is very good. They have good, you can say, dressing sense, fine, and they dress up because they are going to meet with a girlfriend, no, so they are ready, okay. The only thing is miss is, you can say, the perfume, but her girlfriend have the perfume, okay, that we refer as a chemo attractant, and the process is referred as a chemotaxis. By this, you can say, the perfume, sperm is able to recognize where my girlfriend is waiting. See how much bonding, love. Yeah, so the thing is when it reach to the near to the his girlfriend, it secretes some of the substances, okay, and remove the covering. Okay, this removal is referred as a capacitation. Now, when this remove, now sperm don't want to wait. They also secrete some of the chemicals, okay, which is stored in the acrosomal cap, and two chemicals you should know. Okay, one is called as hyaluronidase. Okay, hyaluronidase, fine. Another is proteolytic enzymes. These enzymes, okay, you've seen that egg. Okay, I should draw it in a larger, you can say, large diagram here only. See, this is a sperm. Now sperm is naked. Okay, sperm is now naked, and this is the egg. Egg have, yeah, fast, tell me what things egg have. Egg have the genetic material, fine, the chromosome, okay, it have the nuclear covering, fine, then it have the you can say, the glycoprotein layer, zona pellucida, and out from that they have the, yeah, the outer layer, corona radiata. Now, once they are naked, okay, they are exposed, it also secretes some of the substances, okay, which make sperm to penetrate, which make the sperm to enter, okay, to hug, basically, to hug the girlfriend. Sperm secretes some of the chemicals, the two chemicals. The first one is hyaluronidase, okay, and second is the proteolytic enzyme, hyaluronidase enzyme and proteolytic enzyme. By this, there is a dissolution of this membrane, okay, and it touches the, you can say, the membrane, corona radiata, and this is referred as the acrosomal reaction. Acrosomal reaction. As soon as this touches, you know that his girlfriend is waiting. Okay, one of the reason, not the reason, because you know that the meiosis 1 is done during the ovulation period, okay, and in that the meiosis 2 is running on. But the meiosis 2 is done only when this sperm is touched this egg. As soon as this touches the egg, the ovum rush to complete their second meiotic division, okay, and divide into the one mature ovum and second polar body. Okay, now ovum also have now the 22 pair of autosome and 1 pair of sex chromosome. That's the X. In the case of the female, they have the XX type. Okay, the sex chromosome is XX. Okay, understood? And in the male, either they have X or they have the Y. Fine, no problem. And second polar body. Second polar body will degenerate. It will degenerate. Now, this ovum, the secondary meiosis complete. Now, ovum and the sperm, they will meet, and there will be a fusion of their genetic material. So before the fusion, okay, there is the one, you can say, protein that's called the cat spur. Okay, their tail possesses one protein that's called the cat spur. Okay, this protein help this head to swell just because of the influx of calcium. Okay, influx of calcium, this becomes swell up. Okay, and it will fuse with the ovum, and there is a completion of fertilization. Okay, there is a completion of the fertilization. No problem. Understood? Yeah. Is it interesting? It's interesting. So once again, we are recalling the steps. We are discussing the stages of the fertilization. Okay, and these stages of the fertilization is mainly, you can say, divided in the 3 steps basically. The first step is sperm transport, then acrosomal reaction, then nuclear fusion. Fine. And after the nuclear fusion, there is a formation of zygote. Okay, and zygote undergo various stages, and on the 64 cell stage, okay, that's the blastocyst, it got attached to the endometrium, fundus region of the endometrium. If it attached with another part, then that's called the ectopic pregnancy. That is referred as a ectopic pregnancy. Okay, which we will discuss ahead later. So the stages of the fertilization is that the thing which we have to understood, this fusion, okay, is not one person choice. It's a both choice. It's a both choice. Egg also want to meet, and sperm also want to meet. So they have to do some special arrangement. They have to do some special arrangement. Understood? But sperm find obstacles and challenges in order to fertilize the egg. But the egg, the girlfriend, is ready to overcome those obstacles and challenges, approximately the 60%. Okay, the first challenges which is faced, okay, in the first stage of the fertilization, that's the sperm transport, is that the consistency of the mucus. Okay, so egg, the girlfriend, ready, they will secrete, they will arrange some of, you can say, they arrange, and they secrete one of the hormone. Fine, they secrete one of the hormone that is called as the progesterone by the corpus luteum. Okay, and they change the consistency of the mucus. It's become the thinner. Then the sperm go. Then it faces another challenge. That's a narrow passage of the cervical canal. Again, it's ready. Sexual orgasm in females. Trigger the hypothalamus. Release the prolactin. Prolactin come, induce one kind of pumping action, and that is referred as a pumping. You can say pumping up, which increase the motility of the sperm. Understood? Now it's coming to the reason. Here sperm now take charge. Okay, sperm take charge. It have the you can say the semen is deposited. So semen, the seminal plasma, the major portion of the semen, seminal plasma, they have some of the prostaglandins. Okay, and female also they on have the oxytocin, which is released by the posterior pituitary. They both go and you can say there's a uterine contraction. This uterine contraction which further enhance the you can say the movement of the sperm. Understood? Now then what happened? His girlfriend is waiting. Okay, his girlfriend is waiting, and the thing is how the sperm recognize where in which place they are waiting. So for this, the egg girlfriend they perfumed with one special kind of you can say perfume, and that's be referred as the chemoattractant. Okay, which attract this sperm through the process chemotaxis. Understood? No problem. Then it goes near to the secondary ooze side, the girlfriend, fine, but his girlfriend said, okay, you are well dressed up, but you have to remove your dress. Okay, you have to remove your dress in order to hug me. So what is happening here? Okay, fine, understood, but generally you are understanding. Okay, so the thing is they secrete some of the chemicals, okay, which dissolve the membrane, the acrosomal cap. Now the sperm is naked. Now the sperm is naked. Okay, sperm also secretes some of the substances which naked the ovum also. Okay, which naked the sperm ovum also and help to penetrate into the egg environment. Okay, as soon as it touches, the magical touch of the sperm, okay, start you can say complete the secondary meiosis, because you know that meiosis first is started, okay, and during the ovulation period it is completed. Yeah, it is completed, and there is a started of another cycle, meiosis 2, but it is still ongoing. It is the secondary meiotic division completion is depends upon the touchness of sperm. Okay, magical touch of the sperm. So once it touches, egg rust and complete their secondary you can say meiosis division, meiotic division, and result into the formation of one distinct ovum and one polar nuclei. Now the half of the chromosome number they restored, half of the chromosome number the second polar body will degenerate. Understood? Now there is a nuclear fusion. So before the nuclear fusion there is some proteins called the cat sphere which is present in the tail region. This cat sphere influx the calcium in the head of the sperm, and there is a swelling of the sperm. It becomes the male pronuclei. This ovum become the female pronuclei. Both they will fuse. That's called the you can say nuclear fusion, result in the formation of the zygote. And on the 64 stage, blastocyst stage, it got attached with the you can say the first part, endometrium, first lining of the uterus. Okay, and if it attached with other side, it result into the ectopic pregnancy. It result into the abnormal pregnancy or ectopic pregnancy. So till now what we studied, we will already deal with the introduction, pathways of energy production in a sperm, steps of fertilization. Okay, now we are only left with the sex chromosome and sex determination. So now discuss the sex chromosome and sex determination. It's very easy to understand. Okay, the sex chromosome determination is easy to understand. So we are discussing the sex chromosome okay and sex determination. Fine. So as you seen that both the different ovum and sperm, they both are haploid, fine. But the feature is that the haploid content 22 is referred as the autosomes, which is responsible for the vegetative development. But for the reproductive development, the one they are called as referred as a sex chromosome. In the female, it is the X. Okay, X. And in the male, it's either the sex chromosome. 22 is here also the autosomes. Fine. And for the sex chromosome, it either have the X or Y. So if the sperm is bearing the X sex chromosome and it fertilized with the X, you can say the sex chromosome of female, it result into the female baby. Fine, it's very easy to understand, no? And if Y will fertilize the X, then it result into the male baby. It means it is the biologically, if we are talking, then it's the father. It's a father who is responsible for the sex of baby. Okay, no problem. But generally in society the females are blamed, but if we see the biological perspective, then we know that the ovum is ready, they have only X chromosome. Okay, but now it's the choice of the sperm that either it will fertilize the egg with their X sex chromosome or Y chromosome. It fertilized with the X, then XX constitute the female baby. Okay, and if the male give if female have already X, okay, and if the male will give, the female have XX constant, okay, if it is fertilized by the Y chromosome, it results into the male baby. Y from where? From the father. Fine. If the sperm is bearing the X, it results into the female baby. No problem understanding female baby. So biologically, you can say the baby's sex is determined by the father, not by the mother. Understanding? So by this we covered today's lecture outline. We discussed about in detail of the fertilization, the meaning of fertilization. That's basically the fusion of two gametes, okay, a sperm and the egg. Then we recall the previous you can say the concept, okay, structure of the sperm, structure of the secondary oocyte, and then we seen the pathways of energy production in the sperm. We seen the abnormalities, azotospermia, okay, asthenogenospermia and tetrazoospermia, okay, and we correlate with the pathways of energy production in the sperm, and then we deal with the steps of fertilization, and at last we discuss the sex chromosome and sex determinations. So thank you with having me.